Hi, Aquarius. My name is Darlene Dotson, and this is your Destiny of Truth for April of 2021. On the 1st or the 2nd, we have got Mercury in Pisces in the second house, sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in the 12th house. You've been going through a lot of psychological changes. And on the 1st or the 2nd, you are communicating emotionally about the things that you value in your life. Because you're stripping away what you don't need anymore, psychologically speaking. Then on the 3rd, we have got Mercury moving into Aries of your 3rd house. You are going to be communicating a little bit more aggressively with your siblings in your day-to-day life, or moving around, or your mind's moving. Well, no, it wouldn't be your mind, that'd be 9th. Or you're, looking at car issues, but you're taking aggressive action. Then on the 6th, we've got Venus and Aries in the 3rd house. And again, you're communicating with someone that you love. And it has to do, you're taking action. It's a child, a creative endeavor, or your dating life. But you're taking action in things that make you happy. Then on the 9th, we have Mercury in Aries in the 3rd house, conjunct Chiron in Aries in the 3rd house. And you're communicating what you want from your siblings, okay? You're communicating and healing your relationships with your siblings. You're doing it from a more self-awareness. You're conscious now in the things that have actually happened, and you're moving forward in that direction. Then you've got Mars in Gemini in your 5th house. So you're going in more than one direction here too with Mars and Gemini. And what I mean by that, you're probably taking action with your children and creative endeavors and in your dating life, but it's something that brings you happiness and joy. But it's squaring off, okay, with Neptune in the 2nd house. It's about the illusions that you've had over your finances, or the things that you value. You've come to realize that they were nothing more than an illusion. Then on the 10th, we have got Mercury in Aries in the 3rd house. And that is pretty much Mercury in Aries in the 3rd house. You're communicating your awareness, okay? Because you've got Saturn in Aquarius in your 1st house. And something different has been restricting you. Something unusual has been restricting you. And it could have to do with the dream that you have, or a friendship, but it's restricting you, and you're communicating this to other people. You're going to overcome that restriction through communications. Then we've got Venus in Aries in the 3rd house, sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius in the 1st. And again, issues are expanding for you in that 1st house in an unusual way, in a way that is different and unusual And I think as an Aquarian, you actually like the way things are expanding for you. And in the process, you are going to love what you're doing in your day-to-day life, your communications, and you're going to love, being around your siblings at that point. Then on the 11th, we have got Venus in Aries in your third house. Oh, we just did that. I meant Venus in your third house in Aries square Pluto in Capricorn in your 12th house. And there's things going on in your head that need to go away. You need to strip behaviors away that you were conditioned, okay? And yes, you love your siblings. You love, the things that you're doing in your day-to-day life. And, and it could be your car, okay? Well, you've got to strip away the behaviors that are holding you back here. You've got to relook at things because, not all our behaviors are good for us. And you do have a new beginning because there's also a new moon in Aries in your communication sector. And you are, I believe, becoming consciously aware of how you communicate with others, how your behaviors are with your siblings. And it's squaring Pluto. So while you're being promised a new beginning in this area, there's behaviors that you're going to have to overcome in order to move forward with maybe purchasing a new vehicle or moving, and communicating better with your siblings or just in communication, in general, in more of a self-aware way, that you're going to have to rid yourself of some behaviors. Then we have, okay, on the 13th, the sun in Aries in your third house, sextiling Mars in Gemini in your fifth house. And again, you're taking action in this day with your children, okay? In your creative life, in your dating life. It's something that brings you happiness and brings you joy. And you're communicating this in a more self-aware way, okay? Because you're focused right now on communicating. And you're going to have to do it in a way that brings you more self-awareness. Then, on the 14th, we have got Venus entering Taurus in the fourth house. Okay? And Venus entering Taurus in the fourth. Okay? Well, we have got, you want to be more grounded in your home life with the stability in your home life. You love your family, okay? But you need stability there. And, and that's okay because we're all in some way, I think, working towards that. Then on the 15th, we've got the sun in Aries in your third house. You're shining your light again on those communication sector, and you're sextiling Jupiter in your first. You're expanding, issues that are unusual and different, but you're going to overcome it by shining the light on how you communicate with others. again, as long as you're doing it in a self-aware way, you're going to overcome those issues, because again, you on the next day, you've got the sun in Aries in the third, shining the light on communication, either with a sibling, or in your day-to-day life, or just in communications generally. But it's squaring Pluto and Capricorn in your 12th house. So there's behaviors that you got to leave behind when communicating with others, because they don't want to communicate with you when you get aggressive and everything is about you. You've got to communicate in a way where they know that it's about them too, in a more self-aware way. Then on the 16th or the 17th, we have got Mars in Gemini in the 5th house, okay? And that is square Pluto. Oh, sorry. We've got Mars in Gemini in the 5th house, trining Jupiter in Aquarius in the 1st house. Again, you're putting your action into this 5th house, probably more than one area, with it being, Gemini. Okay, you need to do, it's about love. Okay, it could be about your dating, who you're dating, or it could be about your children or your creative projects, but it's something that brings you joy, okay, and happiness. And it's trine Jupiter on this day, and Aquarius in the 1st house. It's something that you do naturally, but it's unusual, it's different. And, it's just, you're going to get over this very easily, but you've got to use this energy, because it can slide by. A trine can slide by us, and it's something you do naturally. Then the sun in Aries on the 3rd. And we've got 3 aspects here on the 17th with the Aries and Mars in Aries. And that is sextile Jupiter in Aquarius in 1st. Again, you're expanding on what is different about you, what is unusual, what is unique. And it's going to shine through your communication. You're going to have to communicate in a different way, in a way that's unusual, in a way that, is unique for you, okay? Then we've got Mercury in Aries in the 3rd house again, sextiling Mars in Gemini in the 5th house. With Mars in Gemini again, more than one area that brings you happiness and joy that you're putting your actions into, and you're communicating it. And then again, on the 3rd, you're communicating, in a way, I hope, that's going to get you over, because this time it's square Pluto, and the 12th house. You've got to strip away thought patterns, okay? And what better to be squared than your communication? If you communicate in an evolved way, it's going to show how you're ridding yourself of these behaviors that have been holding you back in the way that you talk to other people. Then on the 17th or the 18th, we got Mars in Gemini in the 5th house, in conjunct Pluto in the 12th house. And in conjunct, or a quincunx, whatever you want to call it, is like having a rock in your shoe that never goes away. It's just something that you got to live with. And it's the actions of either that your children are taking or that you're taking in creative endeavors, or someone that you're dating. It could be their actions that are happening doesn't agree with the way that you do things. Okay. Again, it's your mental area that Pluto is in. And it needs to strip away things in this area in order for you to have that happiness and joy. Now, on the 18th, we've got the Sun in Aries in the third house, conjunct Mercury in Aries in the third house. And all I can tell you with Aries being in the third house of communications, don't blow up. Okay? It's not worth it. Okay? Just, and also with the vehicle, be careful. Don't have an accident on this day. Just take things slower, because the next day you've got Mercury entering Taurus in your fourth house. So that aggravated energy is going to calm down, okay, in your communications. You're going to be able to get more grounded with your family. You're going to be more stable in your communication at home and with your family. And then you're going to shine your light, because the Sun on the 19th also enters into Taurus of your fourth house of home and family. And you're all about making things more secure in that area of your life, and shining a light on your family, and, showing them how much you do value them. Then on the 22nd, we've got Venus conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the fourth house. And in order to bring the stability that you want with your home and your family, that changes have to happen for the people that you love. Okay? There's some kind of change that has to happen to put your family on stable footing. Now, on the 23rd, we've got Mars entering Cancer in the sixth house. So, Aquarius, you like when you're busy, but things are fitting to calm down, okay? You like being busy, but you don't like being too busy. And come the 23rd, things are going to start to calm down. And it's the sixth house in Cancer of your work or in your health. Okay, you've been emotional you're going to be emotional in this area with your family, but know that your health is changing, and so is your work life. And on the 23rd or 24th, we've got Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus in your fourth house. All I can say is don't get fixed in your attitudes, okay? Taurus is a fixed sign. It's Uranus. Sparks will fly in the situation of home and family, in communication. Now, all I can tell you is, if you want stability and to be grounded, then you need to be grounded in a way that helps to ground other people, okay? You have to do what is right for you, but you also have to do what's right for them. Then on the 24th or the 25th, depending where you're at, we've got Venus in Taurus in the fourth house, squaring Saturn in Aquarius in the first house. While you love your home and your family, they, are trying to hold you back from something that you do that is unusual and different. Don't, okay? Be who you are. I have Saturn in my first house natally, and I'm here to tell you, people have always tried to hold me back. They didn't like something I was doing, and I had to learn, I had to be true to me, okay? Well, yes, you're being restricted right now by something that is different, and that's unusual. But that's okay because, you love your family and there may be challenges there, but security comes from being true to you. Security comes from having boundaries. And while both of these are fixed signs, which is what is in my chart, it's just not Venus, okay? Um, People that love you are going to get over what you want, okay? They're going to adapt. They're going to eventually, it's fixed energy, so everybody's being stubborn here right now. But if they love you, it's going to come together in the end. Now, on the 25th, we have got Mercury in Taurus in the fourth house, sextiling Saturn in Aries, Aquarius in the first house. Here we've got Saturn being, restricted. Okay, Saturn again is restricting us from what's different, what's unusual, or there could be something unusual that is restricting us from being more secure with our home and our family. And on that same day, we know that it's going to work out, though, because we've got a Mercury conjunct Venus, and that is happening right here, okay, with the fact that it's harmony. When you've got Venus and Mercury together, that is harmony. And it's because everybody wants everybody in the fourth house of Taurus to be more secure, to be on a firmer foundation in the things that they value. So, there's going to be harmony on the home front after you deal with the restrictions that are happening around you that are a little bit different. Then on the 26th, we have got a full moon in in Scorpio. And all full moon it means the moon is opposing the sun. And we have got, the moon's in Scorpio means the sun's in Taurus. And it's going from the 10th house to the fourth house. So, while you're invested in your home and family, you're going to have to get over an issue there with an authoritative figure that's trying to restrict who you are and your power. Because the next day, Pluto goes retrograde in your 12th house. You're going to have to think about things, okay, that you've already changed in your behaviors. What's working? What's not working? Where do you need to change things a little bit further? Okay, because come the 29th, We have got Mercury in Taurus in the fourth house, sextiling Pisces, Neptune in Pisces in the 12th house. And you're going to have to do some work here with your home and family, but your mind is going to know the direction that you need to take on the home front with how to keep your home base secure. Then on the 30th, we have got the sun in Taurus in the fourth house. You're shining your light on that home base, okay? And how to make it secure, whether it's with your family, your home, or just the very foundation on which supports you, okay? It's conjunct Uranus now in Taurus in the fourth, and you know a change has to happen because what has worked in the past is no longer working, and Uranus said, nope, you're going to change it. If you want security, if you want a firm foundation on the home front, you're going to have to change how you're dealing with things. So, Aquarius, that is your astrology for the month of April. You're dealing with a lot of psychological changes, Aquarius, and because of it, you're going to be doing a lot more communications in your day-to-day life with your siblings, and something that's different or unusual and how it's been restricting things from moving forward in communicating with your siblings or even your day-to-day life and how you travel around, but it's pretty much affecting your family, and some type of change has to happen here in the way people are communicating with each other, in the way things are happening, because everybody wants a safe and secure home base. But if it's not happening, then a change has to happen in order for it to be secure. Now, I am using the Work Your Light Oracle cards, okay? So, let's see what's happening for Aquarius. Wow. Great card. You drew Anna, grandmother of Jesus. You're seeding the light, okay? Laying foundations, divine plan. Pretty much, okay, you are laying a new foundation, okay? You want to do things consciously, okay? You want it to be woven all through your life. Anna's not widely known about, okay? But without her, we wouldn't have the Christ consciousness, okay? She is what laid the foundation for Christ to be born. She had quiet dedication, and she had to learn how to live a life that gave to others. And, she represented that the generations that came before Jesus, that devoted their lives into dreaming of a new world, knowing that they wouldn't see it, but they knew they had to be the dutiful soldier and the unconditional mother. And then when they did this, that they knew that a new beginning would happen for their children, okay, and their children's children. And Anna is teaching you that you've got to get rid of behaviors that have been woven into you. Pluto in the 12th, okay? And you've got to get rid of them in order to help your children. You've got Mars and Gemini in the 5th, so I can see that, and you have to know that one person is not worthier than the next, okay? And, you have to rid yourself of patterns of behavior that have been ingrained into you in order to rid your children of these patterns. You want to break the cycle, and you want to help them break the cycle. Like, okay, say that that this is just an example, that you pick partners in your life, okay, that are like the father figure or the mother figure in your life. Say your father cheated on your mother. Well, then you've got to look at the deeper issue of why you're picking people that are like your father and cheat on the women in their lives, because you need to break that conditioning. You need to break that cycle. Say you're a male and you pick people like your mother who loved too much, okay, to her own detriment. She loved the man, and everything else came after that man, including, her children or her own self. You've got to break that cycle of self-worth issues, because you don't want to choose a woman that doesn't have value in her own self. You are breaking the patterns that have been fixed generation after generation, just like Anna did, because Anna wanted to live in a way that there was no bad karma. She wanted to live in a Christ consciousness. She wanted to live in an aware consciousness. Because some people, they don't believe in a Christ consciousness, okay? They believe in karma. They believe in, what you put out into the world is what you get back. Your behaviors dictate the outcome. Well, if you're choosing men or women like this, you've got to look at the deeper issues of why you're choosing them and what patterns need to be broke in order for you to break this vicious cycle that you're living in. And in your day-to-day life and communicating this, with other people. but know that you've got to surrender in order to really look into your makeup. And you've got no choice when Pluto is transiting your 12th house. And like I said, I've already done this. And it's not an easy house because I have got a Capricorn ascendant with Aquarius going up all the way to 27 degrees. Pluto, though, is now in my first house. So I'm over, having to look at the reasons my behaviors took me down a certain road. Now it's your time, Aquarius. Well, Aquarius ascendant more so, and you're going to have to look at how you're going to have to change your own patterns of behavior and how your family has dictated you to live in the illusions, and you have definitely got to see through the illusions in order to get over these patterns. And I do wish you many much luck with this, because Pluto in the 12th is not an easy aspect. One good thing, it's trining Taurus, so it's a little bit easier to get over than it was when it was in my 12th, and we had it squaring off with each other. Because it wasn't Uranus wasn't in Taurus then. Uranus was in Aries, and it just wasn't easy. Okay, let's just say that. So I am just telling you, Aquarius, I wish you much peace, and I really do hope that you find your joy and your happiness, and that you're able to communicate this in being more consciously aware with your children and your siblings about the direction that you want to go in your home base to make sure that it's secure. So, Aquarius, I love you, and I will see you in May.